everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I am going to show you my prepper pantry tour. If you are new here, hi, hello. I'd love it if you stayed and subscribed, became part of our YouTube family. We make videos 3 to 4 times a week about life on a budget here in northern Colorado. We are a family of 4 and we are also amateur preppers. So I started prepping around 2 years ago when I started seeing things leave the shelves. It did frighten me a bit, and I realized I really needed to start prepping for my family. And as my family expanded, I started getting to know the prepper world. In my opinion, there are many types of different preppers. I don't think anyone should get any shame for prepping for your family or for yourselves. I think it's a really important thing to do. We prep right now just because of food shortages that we're seeing, as well as inflation. I'm seeing a lot of items just skyrocket, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. So we do prep for long-term storage, and we also have some pantries upstairs. We have 3 to 4 total. We are upstairs using the pantry. It is cycled through, it is constantly in use, and every time I go to the grocery store, I make sure to stock up an extra $5 or $10 on something that can be shelf stable that we can cook from home. So a lot of the fresh things that we purchase are going to be stored upstairs, obviously, but we do have this pantry downstairs full of things that can nourish our body, full of things that our family actually likes. So food your family actually likes is extremely important in my opinion, and I talk about it often. So I'm going to get you turned around here and show you, kind of break it down through what we have. Of course, I am always here to learn. If you see something that may be out of place, or perhaps something that you stock that I'm missing, I'd love it if you drop that down in the comments in a kind way. We always have to say that in a constructive way. But what I'm going to do here is take you through each item and why we keep it on hand and go from there. Please remember that we do have other items upstairs, such as medications, maybe some items that we may need to grab and go, and other things of that nature. We have some proteins upstairs that are shelf stable that I don't keep down here. In this area of my basement, it is light tight. There's no light coming in here, and it is a little cooler. It is doesn't get hot down here. It doesn't get too cold down here, but those are some things that you need to think about if you are stocking up for your prepper pantry. If you're new to this, like I said, I am not an expert on this. This is just something that I've been doing over the years, and I've really kind of kept my my stock up, and I'm really excited about this. I got a comment the other day that I was crazy, and normally that would bother me, but it made me so happy. I was so excited because I knew in my heart that I was prepping for my family, and when I come down here and look at this, if you know, you know. If you're a prepper, it is something to be proud of. So I did want to show it off here. I know a lot of people were kind of requesting it on the channel, and without further ado, we're going to get right into today's tour. All right, so you're flipped around here, and my ring light's on, so it's kind of bright in here, but it does get a little darker on the shelves, so I'll bring you in. We do have some items that are out of place when it comes to food. I have my 24-hour emergency bag. That's to grab and go, a bug-out bag. I have a video on that. It is linked in my emergency preparedness playlist down below, so just make sure you check that out. I have so many items in there. In here, I have some MREs that Pierogis sent us. They're a really great company. I have a video on that, and all of that information is linked down below. And then in this box, I have some extra beans and rice that is just not fitting in here. On this side, next to the rifle bag, we have some water. This, of course, is not our whole stock of water. We also have ways in our emergency bag to get water out of the creek next to our house, and then we also have a river, and we do have jugs of water upstairs in the pantry as well. If you want some of those tours, just let me know, and I can do that of the other pantries, but those are functional pantries, so they're not, I mean, they're fully stocked, but I mean, we're taking from them constantly. They're not as organized, we shall say. So we have plenty more water than this. I always try and grab a case of water when I can. If not, I have Life Straws. I have Life Straw water bottles and things like that. Moving up to this area. We have some gnocchi. When I prep from every store that I possibly can. We go to Dollar Tree, King Soopers, which is our Kroger, mainly Walmart because they are very cost effective. Recently, Save a Lot because I am new to that chain of stores and I'm finding some really great things. And then other things that we're stocking up on are from our local farms, our local farm markets, and things like that. We're going to support them as much as we can, just in case anything were to happen to their business in the future. Food shortages affect us as a consumer, but they affect farms and local, farmers in the area. So we are trying to help as much as we can on a budget. So we have some gnocchi here. We do have some gravies and spices. You will see those kind of randomly about in the video. I just pick up extra whenever I can. These are from the local Save a Lot, 50 cents for the gravies as well as the spices. So sesame seeds, cumin, and chili powder that I stocked up on this week. We also have some minestrone soup as well as some creamy corn chowder. And then we have some Bear Creeks back here. Not the best when it comes to like sodium and things like that, but really easy to just grab and go and cook on the camp stove if we lose power. And they're really great to bulk up. I suggest you check out some of my emergency stock ups. I talk about examples of what you can make with these kind of things that are not just soup. So we always like to have soup mixes on hand. Earlier in the season, we purchased some squashes and sweet potatoes. They do really well in the prepper pantry. This is kind of what we're down to now. I believe we got all of those in September or August, honestly, and we're doing great here. We have 2 sweet potatoes left, and they lasted us through the season, and I'm super happy about that because I did get a little nervous there for a sec. Polenta, not the best shelf life on polenta, about like a year and a half, but they are nice to have. I like to slice them up and make them into like little pizza bites. They're super good, or you can fry them or make them into French fries. They're really good too. And then back here, I have my pastas. So the La Modernas are 7 ounces and they're like 44 cents at Walmart. I try and stock up on those when I really am in like a budget pinch, if that makes sense. And then back in the back here, I do have some fettuccine, spaghetti, things like that. I'm going to try and pace myself. I am under the weather, so if my voice is a little frail or my nose is stuffy, I apologize. Anyways, I have some penne. I do have ramen noodles. We typically don't use the seasoning packages, but ramen noodles are easy and cheap to just have on hand, so I suggest getting them. I love the Lotus Food rice ramen, a little better for you, the bougie ramen, we shall say. I do have some orzo pasta here, regular pasta, penne, elbow macaroni. I have pasta all the time on hand, so that's not something that we're really short of, but I do have a lot of boxes upstairs because we eat a lot of it. Now moving up to the canned items and beans and rice. So we have a big thing of pinto beans. If you're new here, I'm vegan. My family eats the standard American diet. I say it all the time, but I live off of beans and vegetables and rice. Honestly, it's cheap on a budget, and I always like to share recipes, so check out my recipe playlist as well. I have some pinto beans, Great Northerns. I have lentils back there. Lentils are great to have on hand. I have that 15 bean with the seasoning packet. You can find that at Walmart. I have black beans back there and kidney beans from our local farm, and I have some lima beans. And then you might remember earlier in the season, I did some soup mixes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are easy to just mix with water, put them into a pot and cook them. So easy. I do have a video on that. It's linked down below if you want to check that out. And then over here, I have some artichoke hearts. This is kind of where it gets a little complicated, but I like to have backups of certain things. I have soy sauce, A1 sauce, buffalo sauce, and then we have some green chilies. This row is beets. And then we have some sauerkraut. Like I said in the beginning, you want to keep things that your family is actually going to eat. So these items here are things that we eat constantly. So this area is not something that I want a suggestion for because these are the veggies that the kids like. I do like to keep canned potatoes on hand. I'm actually out of those right now. They don't store as well as sweet potatoes, obviously, but I do like to have that on hand as well. I have green beans. I love green beans in a can. I have my tomato sauces. I did forget carrots. There's carrots here. I have some curry simmer sauce, really great just with some rice and beans and honestly some coconut milk. It's very easy to do that. And then I have some tomato sauces in the back as well as my canned beans. I pick those up from time to time, but dried beans are much more cost effective and you can flavor them, not put lard or salt or anything in that, which is really cool for a vegan. And then over here we have salsas, we have more curry sauces. We have enchilada sauce as well as tomato sauces. And then I do have some barbecue sauce in the back there. I also have some quinoa. I don't have as much as I normally would have. Normally I have like 5 of these, but we've gone through them and we are trying to stick to our budget. We've been trying to cook and shop for a month's time just to see if we can do it. So far we've made it like 3 weeks, but I do want to make it that month. I also have brown rice down here. Generally, you don't want to keep brown rice in your prepper pantry. That's like a rule that they all tell you, but I pick it up from time to time. I think it's okay. It'll be used up in 6 months, and that's really the shelf life for it. 6 months to a year is what I've heard. I also have rice. Rice will last, or white rice. That will last you forever. So grab white rice when you can. I grab the 2-pound bags every now and again. I got a huge bag from Azure one year, Azure Standard. But these are just easy to have on hand and just easy to stack. So that's why I keep it like that. I do want to look into some Mylar bags and some buckets for a more long-term storage, but that is for the future. Now, moving up here, these are more easy meals. I do have the Knorrs. These are also 33 cents. Really great to have on hand. This is just a screen printing screen. I'm an artist if you're new here, and I just try and use everything I can when it comes to this thing, just because there are some holes, as you can see. You could use a piece of masonite or a board or cardboard, anything, honestly, but that's just easy for me to grab. And then over here, I do have the rice-a-ronis as well as the dried potatoes. Dried potatoes are great to thicken things. I make vegan meatballs out of them. I mix a pack of that and a can of chili beans and roll them up into little meatballs and make meatball subs out of them. I know, very different, but it works well. Or you could just use them as a potato. We love potato pancakes as well. I have some like spring veggie mixes in here. I have the onion soup mixes. I have some more rice-a-roni as well as some chickpea masalas. I picked these up from Dollar Tree, super cheap there. If you've got them at Whole Foods, they're like $3.99. So I encourage you to shop your local Dollar Trees. And then in the back, I have some pancake mixes as well as these easy sides, like the Knorr sides, just the store brand. But we have a bunch of those. And then I do have some more MREs right here from For Patriots. Like I said, that video is linked in the description box. They're a phenomenal company, just really kind people, and they make a great product. And then up here we have some Survival Shake chocolate to mix. I can't eat that. That's not vegan, but that's okay. My family will eat it up. Over here, I have some more of those soup mixes, as well as some seasonings. I have this here, and I have some Jiffy cornbread mix. I have Indian fry bread mix and some Cheerios. I have some pizza crust mix. I have a bunch of those, as well as some taco seasoning and the onion. And then I have some shelf-stable dairy. My kids are 1.5 and 3.5. They still drink whole milk, so I have some shelf-stable milk there. And then I have some dry milk powder right here. Non-fat dry milk powder. And then I have coconut milk for myself, as well as unsweetened coconut milk in the container here. That's not as shelf stable, but they're nice to have on hand. I have some oat milk, and then sometimes I get almond milk. I'm really not a fan, to be honest, so oat milk it is. And then on the top here, I have some jars I'd like to put some pasta in. I have some of the kids' medication, vitamins, all those kinds of things. I have flour, bread flour, cane sugar, I have couscous, and I have some Hungry Jack potatoes. So that is it for this little tour downstairs. Like I said, we do have like 3 functioning pantries, but then this is our long-term storage. I think we're doing pretty good. I stock up on a budget. Let me turn you around. So I stock up on a budget whenever I possibly can. I am an elementary school teacher, so it tends to get a bit busy, and I am relatively new to this. So I am just loving the kind people that I've met in this community. The amount of support is insane. So if you're ever thinking about becoming a prepper or want to know more about it, definitely check out some videos on YouTube. Check out some of my playlists. I have a lot of friends that prep on here as well. And yeah, that is about it. All right, everyone, that is going to do it. I hope you got some tips and tricks to form your prepper pantry. Again, if you see anything out of place or perhaps something that I am missing that you keep on hand, please drop that in the comments down below. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all. Talk to me nice.